Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Give Me Back My Horror Movies, the podcast. I am your host, Charlie. With me, as always, is Nate. Say hello to the people, Nate.
Bleh.
Yeah, that's that's pretty much it. We'll talk about why we're all maybe a tad bit sluggish here in just a moment, but I have one more person to introduce. We have a new addition to the show, kind of a part-time floater, may not be here every episode, but we'll get him on here as much as we can. We have brought back Pete after very many times of me going, please, please, please come back, please, please come back, come back. He finally relented and
Please.
said, okay. Say hello to the people, Pete.
Hello, people. Yes, I got beaten down into submission, and I have returned. My triumphant return to Give Me Back My Horror Movies. I am thoroughly excited to be here, and this is going to be a lot of fun. We're part time. I do a lot of rehearsals, so
We'll work around with your schedule. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
It's
no,
gonna be
it's
your. There he is. There he goes. There he is. There he
right.
goes.
Special guest.
a lot of tears, a lot of crying, and finally Pete was like, "All right, I'm in,
Fine.
fine." You know, and
No,
it
I
was
love
Pete
the
that
show,
was
and I'm
crying.
really excited to be back. This is going to be a lot of fun. We don't talk over on Good Beer Bad Movie Night, my main podcast. We don't do a lot of horror movies. We do our fair share, but it's not our main focus. So
That's okay. Neither do we.
I'm real excited to focus on horror movies and to introduce you guys to some really weird shit if we can get around to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
That's the plan. And
Nate, you
I
should.
picked this movie
Yeah.
This
because
is
I was
really
like,
weird shit.
we need to do like a horror movie to introduce Pete. And I was like, we
Yeah.
haven't done Italian horror yet.
Uh-oh.
And I was
Oh.
like, we should definitely do Italian horror. And what better than the director of Zombie than Lucio Fulci? I think that's how you
Fulci.
pronounce it.
Fulci. Yeah. I
So-
watched a lot of documentaries trying to figure out his name, and I feel like everyone just says it however they want to. Whether they were Italian, American, whatever. Fulci, full of shit. I don't know. After watching this movie, I'm still on the fence.
Well, here's the thing. Once I picked it, I realized I've only seen Zombie by this man, and that's it. So I was like, okay, I need to do a little bit more research. So before I watch this, I watched The Beyond, which is a
Nice.
fantastic horror movie.
Now
It's
that one I
great.
want to watch.
Has
That's
a-
usually that's cited as maybe his best, arguably his best film is The Beyond.
Yeah.
And then after, like, if you were to watch Zombie now, it hasn't aged as well. I talked about this when we interviewed Derek, that the gore effects in that are pretty much what you see in a standard episode of The Walking Dead these days.
Yeah.
That's not a slight against the movie. It's just, to me, it's how crazy that on primetime television you can get away with as much blood and guts and gore as you want, and what it says compared to in the 70s where that was very controversial.
Yeah.
So it's very mind-blowing to me that it's like I haven't seen much by this man. So the premise to this movie terrified me, and I was like, this could be the one, because I don't know shit about it. And
Well, I'll back you up a little bit on that, because when Nate pitched it to me, I immediately went to IMDb, and I don't read anything that'll spoil it, but I do go through. There's a thing called the parental guide, and it'll say how much nudity, how much gore. And I went through and I'm like, the gore stuff sounds fantastic. I saw a couple of pictures. So I was like, okay, this looks like it's right up our alley. A lot of gore, a lot of fun. And what should be considered one of the godfathers of horror before the American ones was Fulci, in the Italian gore business over there, because it was just what would you call that? The like an exploitation kind of zombie
Italian
film.
exploitation too.
That's
yeah,
it.
and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the way it would come here to the States is through tape trades and like through the mailing,
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how, like, Zombie is an unofficial sequel to Dawn of the Dead. So it's literally just riding the coattails of that. That's how the marketing would work overseas. This is pretty much all common horror knowledge stuff. The thing is, it's just a matter of, do you take the time to watch something like this on your own free will at 2:00 in the afternoon? That's the difference here for all of us. And I watched this movie at, like, I don't know, 10 in the morning or something like that. It's not really like a type of movie you wake up, eat your bowl of cereal, and go, all right, time to watch this, you know?
No, and I know we haven't said so we're doing House by the Cemetery, and I agreed with Nate. We've kind of, as we've started the show, been trying to hit like all the high points: alien movies, monster movies, slasher movies, ghost things like that. But
We still haven't done a werewolf movie by my definition.
we have, sir, probably the greatest werewolf movie.
No, I
No
feel like
werewolf in this podcast.
werewolves have not happened
They
yet.
Pete
have
was
not
on
happened
that
yet.
episode.
We got
They do not
Wolverine
exist.
clones.
Right?
We didn't
I
get
will
werewolves. We got
I will still
fake
stand behind
Logans.
that movie all day. I'm waiting for the sequel. I'm actually working with Mario Van Peebles right now. We're really close, guys.
Can't wait to
Oh,
have Mario
oh,
on the show.
Now, he
Friend
said
of the
no.
show, Mario
He-
Van Peebles.
He said no, don't include me in that. But I'll see if I can get this piece of crap redone. But no, but we've been trying to run like through the basic subgenres of horror. So I had no problem with Nate going, "Hey, let's do this one." I knew Pete was coming on, so I was like, "Okay." Pete's really into like the J horror, Japanese horror, the very odd kind of movies that he can't wait to introduce us to because I've never really I've dove into one or two and they were insane. So I can't wait for what Pete's going to bring up. So we're like, let's do one that maybe kind of brings
Thought it was a
Pete
good
into
bridge.
the fold, a good bridge. And spoiler alert, Charlie did not have a good time. So let's go ahead and let's knock this trailer out real quick. There was a 3-minute trailer and I went,
no.
no.
Oh,
no.
no. We're trying to
so
put
No
our
one wants that.
listeners to a sleep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I found a little bit better one, and I will say the ending of this trailer made me smile. So here is House by the Cemetery trailer.
Stephen, where are you? Please answer me. Steve!
In this house, what you don't know will hurt you. It was to be a getaway dream. It's becoming a runaway nightmare.
Do you see anything?
Some old steps going down.
He has been awaiting the arrival of his new guests. One by one, they are disappearing. One by bloody one.
No! No!
When you move to this house, before you get locked in,
There's someone in
read the
here!
fine print.
Mommy, hurry!
You may have just
Get me!
mortgaged your life. Due to the graphic nature of this film, no one under 18 will be admitted. House by the cemetery.
Oh, okay, so I need to do my 3-sentence synopsis in that man's voice.
Yeah. Oh, I just love how they added no one under 18 shall be permitted.
Yeah.
That was as good as the Deadly Spawn going,
Sounds
I
like Green
dare
Goblin."
you. I dare you to watch this movie. You ain't
I
got
so
the
missed
balls.
the cinematic crowd barker to get
Yeah.
everybody into the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, like, hey, this is, I'm going to hype you up.
We have releases for you to sign before you come into this film in case you die of fear.
Everyone gets a complimentary barf bag. It's just
Here is a
That-
roll of toilet paper because you are going to shit yourself.
that's in the barf bag. It's all
That's
one
in
nice
the barf
little-
bag. That
Nice.
way, if it comes out both ends.
Oh, Nate, you could have just stopped at the toilet paper, man.
No,
Keep
this
going.
movie will give you food poisoning.
It gave me eye poisoning is what it did, but we'll
We
get
do
into
not
that
have
in a minute.
leaky eye drops for you in the bag.
Oh, Nate, let's do your 3-sentence synopsis before we start tearing this thing apart. You ready, Bubba?
Yes! Moving can be hell. Even worse when your roommate is from there. Every house has its secrets.
He
Best
went
ever.
for it. He went for it and nailed the landing. That's all there is to it. Give that man the goal.
You've just set a very high bar for yourself, Nate.
Yeah, I know. It's going to suck for next week.
Yep. Nate's just gonna monotone the next one just to bring that bar right
I'm going to
back
Bittenstein
down.
it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so Nate, do you have some of the stuff about the movie ready to go? Let's talk a little bit of good about Fulci and stuff like that before we really get into it here.
Oh, I wish I could. I just don't know much about the man. I know he did The Gates of Hell, which has a cover that terrified me as a kid.
Yeah,
so I
that's
still
a good
haven't
one.
watched
I
it.
remember that cover. Yes, you're right.
Wasn't there one like New York Prowler, I believe, or something like that?
Yeah.
I just don't know much about the man's work,
Well,
sadly, and I
he
need
did
to learn more.
one of
New
the
York Ripper, that's what it's called.
yeah, one of his more famous films is entitled "Don't Torture a Duckling," and it's revered by many in the horror fans. It is.
Yeah.
It's a rough one to watch. If you'd ever want to look that one up, we don't. We're talking about House on the Cemetery, so we don't need to talk about "Don't Torture a Duckling." But if you do run across that one, it's one of his better films, and it's disturbing on a number of levels. And I'll just leave it at that.
I mean,
Oh,
to title a movie like that,
Yeah,
wow, okay.
it's legit.
I mean, I know the man because like Nate said, I've always seen the covers of his movies at the VHS store, especially Zombie, and it always had
Sure.
that one zombie's face.
That's an iconic.
it's an
it's
iconic cover.
Poster cover. Yeah.
You see
The
that, and you know
DVD I
Fulci.
have of that has been restored beautifully. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like whoever did the transfer on that, I'd have to like reach over and look, but they did a fantastic job, whoever you are.
But
I did not
looked
prepare for this today.
at the cover of this one that we're doing, and I'm like, that cover is nowhere in this movie whatsoever.
No.
I mean, nowhere.
No one even has that long of hair in this movie, I don't think.
No,
really.
that's not the killer on the cover. That's not anything that's in this movie. I honestly, guys, I don't know. I went into this with, like Nate said, fairly high hopes. Nate, do you have a budget or anything? Do we have any numbers? that
Not
goes
really,
along
because
with
when I
this?
tried looking it
Okay.
up, it tried saying the budget was 600 million pounds, which is obviously a lie. And that it
Yeah, is
grossed
the pound
1
more
point
than
something pounds.
Yeah, no, that can't be right.
That doesn't sound right.
No,
that's
so
totally
basically it might as well have just been made with like intergalactic 600 million galoopals.
Or 600 pounds. I could probably believe that more than million. No. So I'm going out of the gate hard on this one, guys. So bear with me here. I'm trying not to be Dan. I at least watched the movie and took notes, but
All right, you did better than Dan. You actually watched the movie.
true.
Ouch! Pile on Dan today.
Well,
I'm
look,
still
I
really
will.
rooting for him, though. I hope he gets a really good recovery.
I will.
Me
Yeah,
too.
that's right. He's still. I don't know. So we did mention we'll explain what's going on. We are recording this Saturday morning. We're all drinking coffee and energy drinks, trying to perk up because
Yeah, I was
for
up
whatever.
till 2 in the morning after being up from 4 in the morning the previous day. My ass is tired.
Yeah, because the way stars align, we all weren't able to record on Thursday. Things ended up working out really well for some of us that we didn't record.
Right, it did. Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
a real
and-
shame because I actually stayed the night in a house by the cemetery.
Did you?
You know, get in the mindset for this
he
movie.
He really deep.
I really
dives and
got in the character for this.
He's a.
And
he's
then
a
I got the
method
text, hey,
actor.
we got to delay it. And I went, well, I can't get the money back on this Airbnb.
So I was watching the movie like right before we were going to record Thursday, and I was like, I can't get into this. I can't get into this. This is going to suck. So I did watch it last night before we record, and it was a lot better transfer and stuff like that. But anyone that wants to watch this movie, here is my advice to you. Don't rent it. Don't waste the money, but go on YouTube. There's a couple of decent like preview trailers and previews to the movie that play like the first 5 minutes. Go to that, play the first 5 minutes of this movie, because that had me hyped through the ceiling with the scantily clad girl getting dressed, which you're like, oh, it's Italian, I'm in. And then she's wandering around. It's very creepy. It's very foreboding. A lot of weird noises. She's looking for her boyfriend,
Steve.
Steve.
Where are you, Steve?
Steve the pirate.
Steve.
And she turns around, and Steve comes walking out of this doorway with his head all bloodied up. And I'll go back in a second. I want to talk about Steve. He's all bloodied up. He's been stabbed, and the killer comes up behind her and jabs a knife through the top of her head, out her mouth. She falls down, blood everywhere. I'm like, yes, I am in.
That's
this
how you
movie's
open a
gonna
movie.
rock.
That's how you open a movie, because a knife goes in the back of the head and
Out her
runs
mouth.
through her
Boom.
mouth.
Oh,
And
so
it's
good.
awesome.
I
And then her
loved it.
body falls, and he drags that bloody body across the hardwood
Oh
floor.
yeah, there's a blood trail from her mouth. I love the beginning of this movie. Then stop, go, that was a damn good movie, and go watch something else. You're done. You're done.
It was a
Don't
nice
do
little
any
short
more.
film. For me,
Just
it
don't.
was the SpongeBob One Eternity Later. And then
Yeah.
something happened. I'll be honest, I don't know what the hell this movie was about.
I'm still trying to piece it
I,
together. I had to
usually-
look some stuff up.
Watch
You made some
everything.
stuff up.
No, I looked some stuff
Oh,
up.
you looked
I'm
up.
like,
Yeah,
I
no,
did
that's
it.
somebody's
awesome.
had to have dug
The
into
hell
this
is this all
movie.
about?
I usually watch movies at home with the subtitles on, and I chose not to with this one. I might be dumb because I really had no idea what was going on. I was not looking at my phone. There was an annoying little kid.
No.
Like,
No.
I was
I
lost.
mean, look, I don't think subtitles were gonna fix it. But you bring up the annoying little kid. So there's a little kid in this movie that is the word. I don't want to bash on little kids. Let me put. I want to put that out right
I
now.
don't want to
That's fine.
advocate
That-
for a kid to die, but this kid
Oh,
creeped me
jeez.
out.
Mm.
So, maybe the
I
killer had a
wanted-
right idea.
I wanted this kid to eat it at the end. I'm not even lying. It was so bad. And the ADR on this movie is the absolute
fantastic.
worst.
That's
I don't care.
that's
Because
part for the
it's-
course on most of these.
Yeah,
Italian
like that's part of
giallos.
the
It's,
charm of them.
That's just
But
the way that it is.
it was filmed in English. It was only the two little kids that were speaking Italian. Everyone else was talking in English. It was
That's,
it was,
the way they. That's the way they
I-
did it.
so
they did it because they would record it in English and then they would dub over it in Italian and release it in Italy.
it's so
So they
bad.
had to do that from the start.
It's
Yeah, some of these would even be filmed without like any audio,
Yes.
basically, and then they would go through and dub it. That's why
Mhm.
some of them you get like a real weird like
and the
overlay.
ADR back then, especially at the budgets and the equipment
Yeah,
that
I
they had,
Can't imagine they're
and-
actually sitting and watching the movie.
No,
It's probably
and-
them reading
look,
the script.
I could handle everyone else's dialogue except the flipping kids. Everyone else's ADR, I was like, okay, that makes sense. I understand that it was 1981. I think this is when this came
that
out.
sounds right.
That I got it, and I knew it was Italian, but this kid, and so we're recording Saturday morning, and after watching it last night, I had to get up kind of early. I've made something for the show, and since we're talking about the kid now, I'm playing it. So here we go.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Keep telling me I shouldn't go there. The one standing at the window in that house. I guess she had something to do. Yes, I did. I saw her face. She was waving and I could read her mouth. Yep, she said that I shouldn't go over there. Why did you say that, Mommy? So where are we gonna live? I wish. You get me some candy?
Oh my
Hello?
gosh.
My name is Bob.
I need some candy.
My daddy's here to do some research. I did my best, only Mommy wouldn't listen to me. Parents never listen. They always do what they want. And Mommy
This is my
says you're
favorite.
not dead. Is that true? And you there?
Mommy said you're not dead. Is that true?
That kid sounds like a killer.
Right? I was hoping he was going to get possessed or something.
He was the killer all along. He has a
Right.
little
That'd
girlfriend
been
that I
cool.
didn't understand whatsoever either. She's there, and then she's there. I don't know. I didn't know
Dude,
what was going on. I felt so stupid.
We'll get to in a few. Okay. I want to step real quick back because we light speeded across what I wanted to talk about. I want to go back and talk about Steve. When Steve comes out of the room, this is going back because I actually ended up watching that intro like 3 times in the middle of what I would do is I was watching it on YouTube going, this cut sucks because it looks shitty. So I would stop it after that point, go find a different one, and I couldn't find one. Then I thought I found an HD one. It made me like verify my age, all this other shit, and then it played 1 minute of the movie.
Nice.
I was like, what the crap is this? So when I finally watched it again, I was already aware of the reveal of Steve, so I could pay attention to Steve. What was going through Fulci's mind to bring out a fantastic looking dead guy and then zoom the camera in on the stupid scissors that are in through his shirt into his heart? Not the gored out head, not the blood running down or possibly an eyeball missing. No, that's a split second, but we get a solid 3 seconds of, oh God, there's scissors in his chest and I'm going to scream. I was able to go back and go, that was a bad decision. Go for
I
the
know it
gore.
cracked me up because it's like, see, not only is his face messed up, but he's also been stabbed in the heart.
Right. It was like the
Like,
camera
he's
zoomed
really getting messed
in.
up.
Again, I was still hopeful. I was like, cool, this looks awesome. The stab in the head is what you expect from an 80s movie getting stabbed in the head. It was obviously a rubber mouthpiece coming out of her mouth with a mouthful of blood. And it was fine. I was in. I thought that was brilliant. And how often do you actually see it go all the way through? And I was like, I'm cool. And the guy was creepy looking. It showed his messed up arm and all this other stuff, the killer. And I was good. And then I should have timed it. I don't know how long it took before something actually happens in this movie.
It takes a decent amount of time because the
At
family
least
has to
30
move
minutes?
into the house.
Yeah.
Now the special effects were done by Giannato De Razzi, which we have talked about on the show before because he also did the makeup effects on High Tension.
Yes, he did.
Cool.
So he also did
Another
Piranha 2.
Italian crossover
Yeah,
into
and he
American
did
genre. Yeah.
Zombie. So the man knows what he's doing. The score is fantastic. It's done by Walter Rosati.
That is
I
some
love the
groovy
score.
tunes, baby.
Yeah, man.
Sure. It's not my bag, but okay.
No, them is groovy tunes.
Those were, yeah.
I'm sitting there going, can we bring the highs down, that ear piercing, just that down just
That's
a little
all.
bit?
That's what I'm all about. Is how much ear piercing annoyance can I give to an audience?
God. Oh, I couldn't.
We do get a really cool scene where the dumb little kid is like looking at a mannequin head as it falls off, and then you just get this pool of blood at the body. And all I can imagine is being a little kid and being like traumatized because I already hate going into JCPenney's as a kid into the mannequins.
No,
then having that happen inside of a Penny's in a mall would be like, nope. See, this is why I don't go out in public.
I love that you brought that up. I love the fact that you said traumatized because it was one of the points I wanted to bring up about this movie. That kid had to go through years of therapy, I bet, being on set for this thing. Because I was just reading something about the kid that played, I think his name was Danny in The Shining, and how Kubrick was super protective of the child. He would not let the kid see anything that was horror related. For years, the kid thought he was only in a drama and didn't see the full uncut movie till a lot later in life. And Kubrick was adamant that we will not scar this kid. Fulci's like, throw a head at the kid, throw body parts at this kid, make this kid watch all these like bloody scenes and bodies hanging from the ceiling. And I'm like, that kid's going to be messed up. That kid
let's make
has
this
to have
kid squeeze his
issues.
head through like a tombstone or
Oh, I had
grave marker.
flashbacks to We Need to Do Something watching that scene again.
Yeah.
That kid trying to force his head up through the tombstone in the floor. Again, well, we'll have to get to the tombstone in the floor. This movie made no sense. It made no sense.
You guys are killing me.
Did Pete get it? Maybe Pete
Pete,
understood. He
come
can
on, man.
educate us.
Jump in here, man.
Killing
Jump
me.
in here. Come on.
I'm not going to defend this movie
No,
so
don't
much.
offend, but
I'm not going to defend this movie so much as it's a great representation of something called a giallo. A giallo
Yep.
is it's a style of horror movie that came out of Italy in the 70s, bled over into the 80s, and it's usually a horror movie wrapped around a mystery, which is why it was so slow in the middle. So they set us up really well with that first kill, and boobies. That's great.
Yeah.
But then
They
there
knew
was
how to
this-
bring in the American audience.
right. So then there's this big mystery surrounding who the killer is, and that's how a lot of these Italian giallos go. Is that not that you can piece it together like an Agatha Christie movie or novel.
Well, you're not like supposed to with
no, you're not.
movie. You're supposed to kind of just be set back as to the horror of the mystery,
Right. And then the end, there's this maybe not a twist ending, but a surprise ending as to who the actual killer was. And then in going back, you can kind of piece a few breadcrumbs together and go, okay, so that's what this stuff was. So a lot of times a second viewing is helpful as to really digesting the whole film itself.
And it probably would have, because there's like a scene with a tape player being revealed that's supposed to have some sort of significance. But I was like, I don't understand the words that are coming out of the recorder right now and
Okay,
what
so
they mean.
maybe that answers one of the questions I have since we're talking about it is, did the tape recorder reveal that he figured out he needed human body parts to stay alive?
Yes and no. So the premise of the story starts with so at the beginning of the movie, Steve was I think what I understand is he committed suicide. And that was his girlfriend that was fooling around with him, and she was murdered by our final killer. He was doing research on Dr. Fruedenstien, who was a disbarred medical surgeon from the 1880s or something like that, and he was
I got that.
he was not allowed to practice medicine anymore because of his experiments. They sounded pretty gruesome.
I think though the guy that was doing the research hung himself though, not stabbed in the
Yeah,
heart
that's
by a scissors.
This movie is not without its many flaws. So, the researcher hung himself and committed suicide. Maybe I don't quite understand that part.
I'm
Regardless,
thinking that
Which is
happened
weird
and
for a movie
we
that has
saw-
a 600 million pound budget.
Right.
Yeah,
You
I
would
mean, I feel
think
like they
we
have
got
all the time in the
Avengers
world.
level like
Yeah.
zombie movie. I think what that was just like we said, to get us hooked. I think that was just people that were in the house fooling around because the house was obviously not even lived in, period, by anyone. But
this is speculation. Maybe that beginning piece was tacked on after the movie was actually completed.
It
That's
could have been
possible.
just to get like a stinger to draw
Yes.
audiences in. Because
Especially
once we
with
start the
81.
movie, we've gone directly to this new researcher who's coming in to take over for the research of the guy who committed suicide.
Because
think
that
that's my
actually
thing.
makes more sense because after that, it feels like the long drawn out beginning of a
Mhm.
movie. You know, the
Mhm.
camera pan across the house yard up to the house where we figure out it's a painting or a picture or whatever it was. That actually makes more sense to me that maybe that awesome beginning was people are going to leave. There's not a kill for 30 minutes
Right.
in this
Right.
movie.
We need
So they had to
something.
add that. Yeah, because I think Steve was just there, but there was another the dad's colleague. They make a big point that he hung himself from not the house. He was in the
The
office
library.
in the library and hung
Mhm.
himself. And the creepy little Igor dude was like, he did it right there.
That wasn't Igor. That was Torgo from Manos Hands of Fate.
It was something. It was Igor
Yes.
from
Never thought we'd get a
will
Manos
see you
reference on here.
soon. He's the master is coming.
Walk
so-
this way.
So let's just quick run this down. So this new professor comes in, he's doing the research, and they move into the creepy house where the old researcher was living in, that hung himself in the library, not necessarily the house.
Right.
So and weird things happen in the house. We get a couple of kills, but creepy shit is happening. In the very end, so that library part with the cassette, that was the previous researcher realizing what the surgeon was doing and figuring out that this surgeon had found a way to keep himself alive by murdering other people and using their body parts and attaching their body parts to him so that he could continue to live.
That makes
supposedly forever.
so much more sense now.
Yeah.
Kind of. I just never understood what anyone was researching in the beginning. Like,
This
I
surgeon,
just thought it was going to be they move into the house. Because my whole perceived notion of the movie was a new family moves into a house and finds out they have an unexpected guest. And like, I thought it was going to be a movie about a person kind of hiding in the drywalls, kind of like the people under the
Kinda
stairs,
is, yeah.
you know. But like, it
This
doesn't
sounds
really
like you got
play
what you
into that.
wanted, Nate.
No, I did not.
No, well, what it is no one goes in here. They don't even realize that there was this. I kept wanting to say Frankenstein, but
close.
That's
Fruedenstien or something.
that
like
was
that.
actually what they is Freudenstien.
Yeah,
They
that's it.
literally did that on purpose.
Mhm.
Fulci has a disdain for psychology, so it was like a dig at I lost the name.
Freud.
Freud.
Yep.
And then his love of Frankenstein and
Mhm.
putting the body parts together. So while I'm watching the movie going, did they do this on purpose? They really did do it on purpose. But I don't think anyone knew the pieces, how they went together. So it really was a very Amityville, let's have this couple move into a house. They don't know what they're in for. The kid's seeing weird shit everywhere. We think there's a ghost girl.
Mhm.
We're not 100% sure. But I was pretty much figured like, okay, she's going to play some type of role in this movie.
Who, Bob's girlfriend?
Yeah, Bob's girlfriend.
Bob's girlfriend.
God, could they not come up with a better
May.
name for the
No,
kid?
because
May,
like
her name
Bob
is
is
May.
the all-American name, so I
Mary.
can imagine if you're like, hey, I'm gonna call a little boy Bob, then he's getting A+. You know, he's going somewhere.
Okay.
He's gonna be the next baseball star.
You guys have fallen into my trap now because I have something else prepared.
He set us up.
I
Damn it,
did.
Pete, run!
Oh, I did. And
I'm out of here.
I drove my wife mad doing this last night because I kept repeating something. And as the movie went, the movie actually finished the joke for me because the babysitter's name is Anne.
Yes.
And the mom comes into the house yelling for them. And I couldn't help but, and this is what I spent this morning making. Enjoy.
We have a new hit. That's gonna be like
Oh,
a million downloads on iTunes.
I had tears. I
Just
had
release that separately on the YouTube page when it
Yeah.
happens.
I had to bring Jackie in here to hear it because she's like, you were singing that last night every time they said Bob. Like when the mom said Bob, I was going, Bob, 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 Bobber. And then the babysitter, they finally say her name, and then the mom goes, Bob. And I'm like, Bob, 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 Bob. And I was like, I got to get up early and make this. And it worked beautifully. Thank you
done,
for
sir.
falling into my trap.
that is some nice mixing going on there. Well done.
I do enjoy that poor Bob also gets more PTSD throughout the movie when a blood of a bat gets thrown onto him.
Bat!
Because we get the longest bat attack I think
Oh my
ever put on
goodness.
film.
Okay.
And
So
bats do not deserve the bad rep. As a person who's trying to get a bunch of bats into his house this spring, or not house, I guess, but in my yard.
Oh, whoa.
I
Yeah.
have
I'm trying.
trauma from that. Don't do that. We'll talk about that. But what was you going to say, Pete?
Well, let's before we talk about the bat. So the basement was much like Amityville, and the secret of the basement.
Yeah, it was
That
boarded
was
up.
all covered up, and that's when the mystery is in the basement. So that was boarded up and nailed shut. And at the end of the movie, that's where this surgeon was living, and that's where everybody kind of dies. So
That's where everyone,
we've
yeah, the
now
big
we've now covered the
climactic battle.
We've
subject
said it.
of the film. So
Was as Pete is now joining us, he was with us when we were synopsizing through a movie, and we realized it was not the direction we were wanting to go. So now Pete's realizing that we've gone insane over here, and we will
Yes, a little
jump
bit.
around the movie.
Yeah, we'll
You're-
just jump
you're
around
jumping
wherever.
like crazy.
because we
Just
have
stuff we
na-
like.
we have now decided that, you know what, if you care enough about the show, you're going to watch the movie before you listen to us, and now we're all on the same page. That ain't always true, but that's what we're going for. But I want you talk about the greatest mystery in this movie being the basement. I disagree. The greatest movie is The Babysitter. What were they doing filming The Babysitter? Zooming in on her eyes.
She had very
She is-
lovely eyes.
She unboards the cellar for no reason. She cleans up the blood from the cellar for no reason.
Well,
Mm.
Babysitter slash
Why?
maid slash Alice from the Brady Bunch.
What?
I
Oh,
didn't
okay,
get
as a
Alice.
baby. Right.
I was
Like, what? Now, that was my biggest gripe with this movie is that character. Now, she is stunning to look at. I mean, mesmerizing. She's got eyes like Bela Lugosi that just sink into your soul.
100%.
And at the very beginning, now that mannequin at the very beginning, that's head popped off, that's her.
Yeah.
That is and that was like, clearly it was a foreshadowing her eventual death.
Yes.
But as she joined, she was very mysterious. She never spoke. She, like you said, she cleaned up that blood without any question about it.
She didn't
She
question it. The
unbordered-
mom didn't question it for
Well, yeah,
sure.
you're right.
You
you're right.
mean when you guys find blood all over your house, you don't just clean it up without questioning them?
Hey, what are you doing? I made coffee, she said.
I
Like,
was
huh?
honestly, I know where Nate was talking about. I was honestly like, we're talking about there's this blood trail coming from the cellar to the kitchen area because he had killed the realtor, and I think that was the blood drag mark. And all I kept doing was like, does she think she's cleaning up the blood from the bat attack that Nate wants to talk so badly about?
So the other thing about Anne was, I thought that she was maybe part of the house, and this is
That's
like
what I
said,
thought.
This what like I thought she was part of the house. I thought she was a ghost or something.
Yes.
I thought she was going to be, maybe she was the killer, which again, here's this giallo and the mystery surrounding who the murderer may or
And
may
I
not
think
be.
that's right. Like this may be that they don't really give you a red herring normally, but this was kind of our red
Mhm.
herring to distract us. Even though you're watching the movie going, that doesn't track.
You're kind
They
of
even-
distracted by everything in the movie in general. And also, this movie is only like an hour and 24 minutes.
Thank
So
God.
when you're doing
Beautifully,
a
yeah.
mystery, padding out a mystery in an hour and 24 minutes is very difficult as a storyteller. So like some of it to me is just like, if you would have padded it with an extra like 10 minutes here or there, extended scenes, maybe it could have.
Oh, I'm not sure this needed any more padding.
Nope,
There
nope.
was a lot of walking and talking about real estate and
I
signing
did- real
papers
estate,
to buy a house. and
I
shit
didn't
Fake
like
need
that.
science.
to watch her walk home from the store. I didn't need that. You could have went.
Yeah, you're right,
Well,
right.
You could have done the shot from her walking out of the store, yelling at her husband that drove by and didn't pick her up.
Uh-huh.
Cross the street, then cut to her opening the door to the house. I could have saved a solid minute in this film, and no one would have
Here
cared.
I am wanting
Uh-huh.
to add 10 minutes. You're wanting to deduct 10 minutes.
There's some-
Okay, Nate, you add, and I will recut and subtract, and we'll see who makes the better movie because it's going to stop right after Steve and the girl gets stabbed in the head. That's my cut to the movie. Um,
But I
But
mean,
no, I-
honestly, you watch a Lucio film for the murders, for
well,
the
sure.
blood.
That's my
And
point.
boy, oh boy, these murders were good.
Oh, the gore.
Yeah.
The murders were great. Let's talk about these murders, okay?
Let's-
So-
Because we
we'll
got
get
to
to
talk
the
about
kill
the bat
count later.
first. Because there's so much blood coming from that hand.
right.
'Cause This
So they
bat
explore
attacks
the
a
basement for
man's
the first time,
hand.
and this bat comes out and attacks Bob, and then
Not
what sinks its
No.
fangs into the dad's hand, and we get 10 minutes of him screaming, and
Screaming?
stabbing.
Yeah.
So this is
And then
This
the blood
was
just going
awesome.
all over Bob's
Oh my
face,
God.
making that kid more traumatized. Because I feel like they're like, it'd be really cool if we throw blood on a kid's face. No movie's doing that
Fill
right
a
now.
squirt gun up with blood and just
Yeah.
This was the beginning of my hatred of the dad in this movie, because he goes down the steps first and the bat attacks his head. He yells.
Oh, the trope of a bat getting into a woman's hair was
Yes.
first.
Then the
Bat.
yeah, bat. We'll explain that reference later. But the dad goes down first to explore. The bat like grazes his head and attacks. The wife
that's
still
right.
comes down. The bat gets stuck in her hair. She's losing her ever-loving mind. Goes all the way down into the cellar, and the dad's still just standing there, staring at her
Everything all right?
as she
Well,
screams
he's doing
more.
what dads do. They gotta think.
That dad was thinking a lot in this movie, and this is not the first time it happens. And
He's
finally,
conserving energy.
he goes to her rescue, and the bat goes, I'm biting you. And Ozzy Osbourne his hand
Yeah,
instead
for
of
sure.
biting the bat's hand off. And that bat ain't letting go. He is pouring blood like it's a blood packet of bat and runs upstairs. His hand's red. The bat's red. He's flinging it on everyone. The kid's traumatized, like, I got blood on me. And then the dad's final thought was, I'm going to take a steak knife and put my hand on the table and stab down.
Yeah, like stab down. Not gonna stab like away or anything
No,
like that.
not
from the
like
side.
try to pry it off or, grab it by the wing. I have a very traumatic bat story.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
So have you guys ever seen the movie The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd?
I have
They
not.
rent a cabin.
I don't think I have.
Really? That's
Yeah.
okay. There's a bat scene in there where a bat gets in the cabin and they have to fight it, and they have pillows and everything taped on them and baskets on their heads. We got a bat in our house one day, and it was in my sister's room, and Dad and I went and got brooms, a trash can, and a dustpan to go get it. Dad hands all that to me. I go step through the door, and then my dad goes, "Good luck," and shuts the door behind me.
See, dads
Locks the
are
door behind you.
thinking.
And this
Yeah.
bat
Thinking,
is
I don't wanna deal with this
flying
shit.
in circles around the light, dive bombing my head, and just on a wild haymaker, I fling the broom down, I knock it out, and I get it outside. That was the first time. I said first. The second time, we realized there was a colony of bats in my parents' attic.
Oh gosh.
And we tried to figure out how to get rid of them. No one would come out and help because, we're not supposed to remove them. So Dad's bright idea. We had eaves in the very peaks of the house, 2-story house. And that's how they were getting in and out. And he watched them one night leave. And then when he left for work the next morning, they were coming back in. So his idea was go board up the one side of the house where they're not coming in and out. So they didn't have another exit. And I went and did that. And then at night, we waited till about 11 o'clock at night, went out there when they had finally left, and you could see just one or two straggling. And I went up there to board it up. I'd already had the piece pre-cut, and I'm on an extension ladder. I'm wearing a coat with a hood so nothing gets on my head. Dad puts a flashlight on my back strapped so it would shine the light away. And he was shining lights because they would run away from the light. And as I'm up there trying to do this, I could just hear fluttering behind me, but I'm like, screw it. I'm getting this done. And I got like enough screws in there, and I dropped down, and Dad goes, well, I didn't want to say it while you were up there, but every time I shined the light, there was probably about 30 bats
Oh my
ready
gosh.
to attack you.
Bat.
I said colony, and I mean colony. Dad's like, every time I shined the flashlight, like 30 bats were just going nuts, all like a foot from your head. And I'm like, I don't like bats. Bat? No. So that's my traumatic experience. So when that bat gets stabbed, I'm like, yeah, stab that bat.
29 more to go.
Oh my God. So that's a fun little
I don't
story.
even know if
I
it was
have
supposed
with
to be an
bats.
evil bat, though. Like, I'm fairly certain that bat was
That's-
just living there.
That
is
was
part
the
of the-
confusion of
Yeah.
this movie.
But that's part of the. I thought that was part of the mystery. Is the house haunted, and much like Amityville, where you had
Right.
all those flies? Is this part of the house haunting where it's possessed a bat? And That's kind of
Because
what I took
we
from that.
have a ghost girl we know is a ghost. We've already
Right.
put that together.
Yeah, like you
Now
have
now we've
supernatural elements to the movie, but
Mhm.
there's a
it's
ghost
like
mom
here's
that
slasher, here's supernatural, here's I don't
yeah.
know.
Okay, here's another confusing thing I have, and maybe I missed it again. Why did everyone think that the dad had already been there?
I think that was a dead end. I don't know if that got lost in translation or
Either
I
lost in
don't know what it was.
translation, or I thought maybe they were trying to allude that the house is making them have memories that don't exist.
Yeah,
So,
that's
but that's where it's just like maybe eliminate the supernatural part and just make it to where there's a guy like watching you through the walls would have been
I'm
way
now
creepier.
cutting more out of the movie, Nate. We're not
Yeah.
adding anymore.
I
No,
had that written down too, Charlie. That one,
my-
just
well,
like, I don't know what you're trying to say.
and this is the best thing I could come up with was we know uh Faustenstein or whatever his name was, Freudenstein,
here.
was there and he died. Then we see his wife's great. Oh, this has made me remind me of the funniest freaking line in this movie, but I'll say it here in a minute. We see the wife's face on. No, it's funnier than that.
No, it's good.
On the tombstone. So we're like, okay, Freudenstein was married.
Yes.
I think the little girl was the original doctor that was doing the research that the dad was replacing. I think that was his daughter, not Freudenstein's daughter.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because they kept
Okay.
saying, weren't you just here? You had a little girl with you.
Oh, that's interesting.
So they
Okay,
never
nice.
tied
Nice
that.
connection.
So I was thinking, I'll say the funny part though. When the realtor drops them off at the house and runs over the tombstone, going, damn tombstones.
I have
like,
that written down here.
Really?
Realtor just backs over a tombstone in the yard and says, "Damn tombstones."
Damn tombstones. It's like,
That's
oh, they're
not at
popping
all
up
how you get a
everywhere.
curse. That's
No,
not at all.
no, that's
House
that's okay.
by the cemetery. There are tombstones. And she's just like, it's popping up out of nowhere. That wasn't there last week. Damn tombstones.
I imagine
Oh.
though, if my like realtor backed over a tombstone while showing me houses, I'd be like,
I'd give her the key back.
I think I might need a new realtor now.
I'm like, no, you get the key back. I'm out.
Where are those papers?
Yeah,
The
I
house
am
is
unsigning.
fantastic. Like, can
Oh,
we
I
at
love
least
the
talk
design
about
of it.
the like old school farmhouse look that has?
Yeah,
Like,
go ahead. Talk about it.
I've been
It's
inside
awesome.
a few of those, and they
Ooh.
themselves are just creepy. Like when I
Yeah.
was looking at a homes, I went into a couple just for shits and giggles, and like they're huge, they're drafty, they all have a creepy basement like in this movie. They all have a creepy attic. Like they're fantastic. If it wasn't for me when I was living by myself and not wanting like a $500 electric bill for you
Right,
know
heat.
3,000 square feet.
Yes. No, my grandmother's sister, we called her Aunt Vinny. She lived in a house that looked almost exactly like that. So I'm
Wow.
They
looking at
all
the pic-
have like that window that overlooks the entire like plane in front, and you can only imagine just all the stuff that's running through your head of like, oh, there's a little ghost behind me or something. Like,
hers had the same like little porch bump out going up to the front door, almost built the same
yeah,
way.
where it might as well have the swing just like
Yep.
hitting the
Hitting
door
the
at all
house.
times, and then like the screen door is never working, so it's always hitting
Yeah,
the house.
she had trees right in front of it. She had a cellar that I swear to God, to this day, I had never went down into. I'm not
No, because
doing it.
every cellar also has a hidden door that leads to the portal of hell.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much. There's a
And
book
they all
down there that you don't read.
You-
Max. You don't.
Who knows how
read
many
that
bodies are
stuff.
actually in the body in the body of the well? You know,
It
because you're not getting
it's-
city water, you're getting well water.
Well,
It's
you're
going to turn
getting
your
well
white shirts
water.
yellow.
I will give this movie some props. It's a well done setting. For the most part, it's a very well shot movie. I think there was only one or two times where I was like, I didn't like that. There was a running scene with Bob that turned into shaky cam all of a sudden, and I was like, no, I don't like that. And then some of the cuts towards the finale of the movie, I was like, this sucks. I don't like how you're doing this. You're not making it more exciting. You're actually telling me this sucks.
It is shot very beautifully, though. That's the thing. Like for the most
Yeah.
part, and like
Fulci
I
knew how
do
to-
enjoy it.
to
Yeah,
shoot a
he
movie,
has a
for
really
sure.
great eye.
Yes,
Like
yes.
I
and it's
agree.
one of those. I would have loved to have seen a modern Fulci, see what he could do with modern technology and like a real budget. Because I guarantee you'd get like one of the most beautiful films ever made, or
Yeah,
just something that is very stylized and very like would always be talked about in film schools of like, look at how this shot is achieved,
well, that also leads into another good point. Let's go back and talk about some of the kills again. So
please,
the
please.
next
Was it the
kill
realtor that gets like
is
poked?
the realtor.
She
So
gets the realtor. Yeah, go ahead.
well, you guys can jump in.
Oh,
anytime.
the
I
realtor
have
gets,
one specific thing about the realtor, so go ahead and then I'll
Yeah,
say
she
my part.
gets. So they find a grave. The mom is cleaning up the house, and apparently there's a grave in the living room or something.
A big stone slab
Big
cut
stone-
into
Yeah,
the
like I didn't know
floor.
what exactly to call that, but yeah, stone slab. I like it.
So I don't quite remember why, but the stone cracks, and the realtor gets her ankle stuck in it, and
Well, she
gets.
steps on it, I think, and then like falls
Is
through
that what it
right?
was?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Okay.
she gets poked with a fire poker. Right.
So
Yeah.
it
in
was
the
a fire
boob.
poker. That's what I
It was
thought it was.
Yeah, right in the boob. It was great.
Oh,
And it's so. Oh, that was
It's
the
so slow.
squishiest.
Yeah.
Real slow, and
And
it
it's
was a beautifully squishy sound.
black blood
Black
oozing
blood, right?
out of
right.
her. And then like you see it lift and pokes her again.
Yeah.
in the neck, in the neck,
Uh-huh.
and it squirts everywhere.
Oh, so good.
So I had to research this next thing. So
Oh.
as he's dragging the body, which is where we get the blood marks that Anne cleans up later, her face is completely destroyed.
Oh yeah,
as she
like
gets
they don't
drugged
show
away.
you her face getting mutilated, but when it cuts back to her, her whole face is like
She's
done
missing an
for.
eyeball.
It's
the
hamburger meat.
Flesh is gone. So I researched that because that was bugging the hell out of me.
Oh,
They
yeah?
they filmed it. And Fulci goes, "It's not believable," and cut it. And I'm like, did you watch your own movie about what was believable and not? That the gore looked fantastic, but I'm guessing the eye removal he wasn't happy with. So he cut it, but never went, we should refilm her being drugged without the eye missing. Nah, leave it. They left the whole thing of her after the attack being drugged away, but he cut that little section
So there's
where
a segment
the killer,
there that we'll never
Yeah.
see.
We'll never see it. Fulci cut it out, and where he removed the eyeball.
Then
from
we get
the
a
realtor.
great shot of the blood going over the slab. Like that
Yes.
white slab where it's like all the blood starts to pour over it, and like there's a cross on the slab, and like I don't know, they got lucky on how that like blood kind of like goes around the cross at first before taking over.
It's like
the
when they
entire thing.
when they drain the blood out of Blade, and all the blood runs down the walls.
Oh,
and
yeah,
all the
yeah.
hieroglyphs. It's very. I mean, yes, this was first, but that's immediately what I was thinking of was that old trope of drain the body of blood, and it follows the hieroglyphs,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then a demon explodes from within. No, there's no demon that explodes.
No,
from
but we
within.
do get into the basement where it's just body parts mutilated everywhere, blood puddles, an open chest cavity. Like
Mhm.
you could tell Props was having a lot of fun that day.
Because as I'm watching this movie, I'm going, why are
Why
there
is this?
so many body parts? Is he eating them? What is going on?
Yeah.
Now that Pete has explained, I should have listened to the tape player more. That would have been explained to me, but I was just like, I was so confused.
In your defense, that tape playing scene, that was some rough dialogue.
It was. I
Yeah.
think that was the
it was
problem
manic.
where
It was crazy. It's when the researcher was clearly falling completely into madness. So it was erratic and
Yeah, they should have
was
done it
rough,
more
hard to
like
listen to.
they should have done it more like what did in the Evil Dead, where you could at least hear.
Mhm.
It's very like, yeah.
don't
Kanda.
stop.
Don't give Max ideas. Listen to our interview to get that joke. So yeah, that kill was on Fulci. God bless him. His kills are fantastically done, and I expect the level of
visceral.
gore and what they are. It's
They're
glorious.
visceral and brutal. They're
Yeah, because
brutal.
the next one that we get is the babysitter, which is the most brutal
I
Well,
love
neck
this one.
slashing
I don't know about that.
I
man.
have
Go
ever
ahead.
seen.
Oh, okay.
As
Really?
far as like neck
Yeah.
cuts, like
Mm.
every movie has a throat slash, but this woman gets like a throat slash to the left, a throat slash to the
He
right, a
carves.
throat slash to the middle, and then to the right. Like it just keeps going, and then like the amount of blood that is pouring out.
What,
It's
did he use
definitely
scissors or was it a knife?
No,
Like,
it was a knife.
it
and
was a knife. Okay.
he would like Nate said, he would slash across
Mhm.
one way, then V down another way. Then I think he stabbed it in ever so
Yeah.
slightly. And then it was
Slowly.
like he started sawing. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, you see it's not implied. You're watching
You're
Not
watching
implied.
the
everything.
prosthetic get sliced on this poor actress's face. She's like, I thought I was going to get some kind of great close-up scene, and this was not what they talked about. And it's like just hacked her head off.
Yeah,
And
I
didn't
can't
they
think
do like
of
a flash or
another.
two to the mannequin too as it was going on? Didn't they like try to remind you, we
I
told you
can't
this was
remember,
going to
honestly.
happen? I feel like that
Was there
happened,
a
or
quick
my brain
flashback maybe
I
to that mannequin? Maybe
think
there might
there
have been.
was. It was insane. It was, and again, only made me more mad that I was like, I thought the babysitter had more to do with this
Mhm.
movie
No,
than
she's
what
there
actually
just to
was.
eventually die, and then like you get her head falling down some steps, and it makes
Yeah.
such a weird, great thump as it's
Yes.
hitting every single step,
Every
just to
single
traumatize
step.
Bob even more.
Well, there's another weird part. So he cuts the girl's head off and it falls. Then Bob comes downstairs.
Then yeah, because he
Then
hears
he
her or
goes,
something.
yeah, then he goes down the cellar and he's in the cellar and the head comes back down the steps again.
Yeah.
Like, is the killer
Yeah.
like, oh, I got to run this upstairs.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to mess with this kid so bad.
Or
And
he's
then-
hiding under the stairs and just kind of.
Oh, yeah,
puts
just
it
like-
on.
We're going to get to under the stairs in a minute because there's another thing that
Oh,
pissed
yeah.
me off in this movie.
Yeah, I figured that.
I bet Pete's got it wrote down. I think Pete and I are on the same wavelength of what we picked up in this movie. And I will give you this. If there is one part of this movie that caused me tension, even though I was yelling at the television the whole time, was when Bob got his arm stuck in the door. When he goes and he has the flashlight and he runs out the door. He's in the kitchen, but his hand gets stuck from the door closing. Now, I was like, what's going on? Who's pushing the door closed? Because the killer's still coming up the stairs. Why is the door closing? So this lends into, is the house possessed?
Right.
I don't know. Is there a rope tied to the door and the killer's pulling it like on pulleys?
I don't think
So
he's
he
got
can-
a pulley system.
I don't either, but it's the only thing I could come up with. Stick with me, Nate. But the kid is like, I'll give this kid the most credit I can. He really sells the I'm terrified in this movie. And he's screaming his head
tortured
off.
throughout filming. Of course
And-
he's terrified.
And at the last second, he gets his hand out of the door. It closes, and the killer's hand lands on the door as he just misses. Killer doesn't open the door back up and grab the kid like you would think would be normal thought process, but no, Bob's now terrified even more. And this is when the mom comes home and finds him crying,
Mhm.
which is the second most annoying thing in this movie. And I didn't make a clip because it irritated me, was the crying you hear in this movie. It was obviously Bob's cry, but we'll explain why you could hear it so much in the movie towards the end. We'll get there. It's another explanation we got to do.
Mhm.
So that was that. So we've killed the babysitter now. Who's the next kill?
Well, that's when we get
I
Bob's
think-
face against the door, and
Yeah,
the parents are using the hatchet on the opposite side as the killer
Oh,
is
that's
pinning
right.
his
So,
head.
That's
and you're
when
just
Bob
waiting
goes,
for a hatchet to hit Bob square in the face. Like, that was
was-
awesome.
that was awesome. But before we get to that, we have to set that whole thing up.
we do. Yeah. Let's
Nate,
let's
you
do
are
that
spot
again,
on,
Nate.
man.
Yeah.
That was awesome. But we got to set it up
we have to set up the insanity that
because
leads
we're
up to that.
flying to the end right here. Right after the babysitter boy, it finally snowballs.
Yeah, it like the
picks
last
up
15
speed, it
minutes
becomes
happened.
a really cool
We're
movie
just
this
at
point.
an hour, so we've got plenty of time. So so the next, so Bob gets free from the door, runs upstairs, hides, that we come to find out because his mom comes in, and this is where we get the great Bob Ran. And I kept seeing
Right.
the entire time. The mom hears Bob crying, and I in this entire movie I kept going, can you hear everything in every room? Like, you would hear a noise that was literally behind them, and they'll walk to another part of the house and be like, what was that? You know, it was so like
That's-
when the babysitter was tearing the door the boards across the door, they were all the way upstairs, and the sound that the dad heard was behind him. Yet he goes all the way downstairs, and there was another
I
wow.
think that's part of the house is haunted.
Yeah, the house is like messing with you.
So are we? Let's go on record.
It's
We're
doing the
saying the
clapping
house
game.
is also haunted.
So there is a surgeon from the 1800s who's kept himself alive by putting body parts on himself. I think it's not too far of a stretch to say that the house is also haunted.
Nope. I need
by
all
his-
of my horror movies grounded in reality. I refuse to believe in ghosts. I definitely believe that a surgeon from the 1800s would keep himself alive using the body parts of his victims.
But not a haunted house.
No, that's garbage.
I
That's
like
bullshit.
turkey and ham on my sandwiches. So why can't we just have
You
both?
bastard!
It's delicious.
You're a bastard man.
All right, so I'm just we're gonna go out and just say the house is also haunted.
Or
Bullshit.
maybe the surgeon has some sort of powers and is
paranormal,
able to
supernatural
control.
power.
Because yes, people can hear crying all through the house, which draws people into his
Layer.
embrace, his
Yeah.
deadly embrace.
So the mom finds Bob, and Bob's like, I just watched the babysitter's head come flying at me. So he gets her to go downstairs.
She don't believe
check
him.
it out. Who is you're
Come on
insane,
now.
Bob. You're a madman. What are you
Stupid
doing?
kids.
You know, maybe she
Kids
just
are
went to
dumb.
her parents'
Isolate that
house.
audio.
Yeah. No, maybe she went to her parents' house and left your underage child alone in the house, Mom?
yeah.
What is your logic here?
What is he?
was the
6?
80s,
maybe
dude.
8?
Yeah.
This is true. It is the 80s.
I'm like, come on, he can watch
Have
himself.
you not heard of a latchkey kid? I mean, there you go.
This mom did not love this kid because when he's missing in the car earlier, she
don't
does
blame
not
him.
react.
Oh, that's right.
I
like,
know
"Oh."
we're jumping around, but this is just reminding me of all the other insanity. He leaves the car this is the 80s. They left him in the car to play while they signed documents at a mortgage house. You know that took forever. They come outside and Bob's gone and she's just standing there.
Oh, gosh.
And then the dad is like, oh, there he is, all the way across the street, like 100 yards away. What are you worried about, lady? He's right there. Let's just go get him. My ass would have been beat. I would have been drugged back to the car, 12 seatbelts put on me.
The 1980s were a very different time.
It really was. So they don't find the head. Bob's insane. The mom, leaves him to be. They go about their day. And then I don't know what's wrong with Bob. Bob thought, I'll go back in the cellar where I was just terrified
I'm gonna
beyond
prove it. I'm gonna
all
find this
when
head.
you're a
reality.
kid,
Show
like-
it to mom.
You got to investigate. You know,
And-
you're a nosy little kid.
My favorite thing Bob ever says in this movie is, and Mom said you're not dead. Is that true?
So good. As he's going down, to the basement.
As he
So
goes
good.
down to the basement.
Oh,
And
man.
now you hear the door shut and lock. So
Here's the climax.
Pulley
yeah.
system.
the pulley system that closes and locks the
Ah,
ancient lock.
He's possessing the
He's
house.
possessed. And Bob runs up the steps.
Chocolate and peanut
screaming,
butter, Nate. Come on. They're
Ah,
they two tastes that go great together.
they
Yeah,
do on
Reese's.
waffles.
The mom hears him losing his shit. She can't get the door open. She breaks the key. It's those old skeleton style keys that go in there. Bob has his head mashed to the door because the killer didn't just kill him. He's like, I'm pushing his head into the door. The dad inexplicably comes home in some kind of like shocking turnaround because you're like supposed to think it was the killer. And then you turn around, oh, it's just Phil. I don't know. I don't even remember his name. And he goes, where's my axe? Oh, it's laying next to the doorway where you left it from chopping firewood, I
That's
guess.
what you do. It's a
In the
kitchen axe.
kitchen. The kitchen axe. I forgot I have my
I
kitchen
need
axe.
to go get a kitchen axe as soon as this recording's over. I'm going straight to Lowe's. I'm getting
Damn
a
it,
kitchen
man.
axe. I'm getting a
Hey.
bathroom axe. I'm getting a garage axe.
Right.
I have a van axe. That's not a lie, by the way.
It's gonna be
And
a
I
real
don't know
problem though
why.
when a killer
have
breaks
one.
into my house and he's like using my axe against me.
Yeah, There is that.
Yes, but he'll not suspect the axe I have hidden under the sink, though.
Or-
And haha, it's an axe battle.
The trap door that I have into my bed frame that leads to an axe, and now we have axe fight.
Charlie, you need to create a pop-up axe from your bed stand or something.
Yeah, it'll be
Yes.
like one of those like
a
you press the
spring-loaded
button.
axe that pops up in
Yeah.
the air. You can catch it, and you need
Can you
to
do
go
that,
to the shop.
Charlie? Can you make
I
that
think
happen?
you can.
Yeah,
I
you're
have
a
faith.
wood maker.
I have faith in you, sir.
So I
Sidestepping
did
this.
just say I have a Van axe. It is actually mounted on the side of
Come out of the wood
my.
paneling.
No, it's mounted on the side of my console, and it has a spring-loaded holder so that I can flip it open with my thumb. I worked a lot in the hood in Columbus, and you
Oh,
both are
boy.
from Columbus,
Mm.
so I spent a lot of time there doing rehabs. I carried an axe. I have more stories I could terrify people with that I experienced downtown. But I have a double bit axe that's right in my reach with a spring-loaded clasp. So as you guys are like, you can make that, right? Like,
I
yeah,
already have.
Sweet.
Of course
Awesome.
you have.
yeah. Of
We
course
went
I have.
to an antique store, a little storytelling, last weekend, and there was a firefighter's axe, but it looked like the axe from Mandy almost. Like it said it was a
Oh.
Viking axe, fire axe. And all I could think of was like a guy that worked at the fire station going, well, the regular firefighter axe isn't as cool. Like, let me make my own axe. And they're like, no, Tim, you can't. And he's like, yeah, but like, look how awesome this is. Like, that's not going to be effective whatsoever when we have to
Okay,
break into
I gotta do
places. He's like,
something
no,
now.
it is.
You
You
bought
guys
that,
are
didn't you?
you're getting the garage axe. Hold on one second. Keep talking.
I can't wait. The
Oh,
garage
man,
axe.
we're getting a
So
garage axe.
He's got a van axe and he's got a garage axe.
We need to
The
step up our axe
natural-
game, Pete.
right. What's wrong with us?
What is wrong with us? We're so stupid. God, if you want to kill two podcasters, here's your chance.
This is why we should do a YouTube channel.
Well, yeah. Oh my God.
Oh man, that's a cool axe.
Is that? Did you make that out of a saw blade?
It's the flywheel from a car.
Oh, of course. Yes. That is horrifying. I love it.
I do not want to get hit by that.
No.
It is
Or
Mad
any
Max
animal.
is on.
Yeah, that's true.
So
You know
whatever
what?
I say from the editing, this is going to stay in, and then we're going to share it in the group of Charlie's garage axe.
I think you could do a whole YouTube channel on Charlie's garage.
Yeah,
You
you could.
really could. You really could.
That'd be the
Those
first
Shit we
YouTube
found in
video.
Charlie's garage.
The sword's too heavy to bring up. I'm not joking.
Anthony, my sword.
my blade. To me, my blade.
Come, child.
Where
Bring
is
me
this show
my
gone?
axe.
We're barely over an hour. This is great.
This is
loving-
great. So
I'm having-
where were we? Oh, we were in the basement.
We're in the basement.
I don't
We're in the
remember.
Right.
I'll,
This-
I'll leave some of the axe talk in there, but I'll clean
no,
this
no,
up.
this is
Oh,
great.
all the
I'm
axe talk
loving
was
it.
fantastic.
This is all very natural. Let's just
Even
keep
when
it
you were
going.
gone.
This is the show, man.
I know,
Welcome
I
to
love
what
it.
we're doing now.
I know. I love it.
Okay, so we're right to the point of so the killer is holding Max's or Max, axe
Bob.
Max,
Bob.
Bob's head
the
to the
builder.
door as his dad is trying to chop through the door. And I did love this part. It like
This is legit butt puckering.
it was because
Yeah.
the first one like is right at just past his eyeball. So
Yeah.
the kid's like, "What the hell, Dad?" And then the next
pretty
one,
much that's his eyeballs. He's like, what?
the one comes behind him and chops the killer's hand off.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Like
that's
his
Like
hand-
one quick
it-
swipe to the killer's hand. So that's a very sharp
basically, it was
kitchen axe.
impossible.
through the door, through the hand.
Yeah, because he's holding him the back of his head. Did the dad didn't like here's Johnny and then reach around and cut the
Uh-huh.
arm off. No, it was shook, and then the dad pulled the axe back out and went, "Oh, there's blood." Not is this my son's blood?
Well,
No,
this is
it
the
was.
same dad whose logic was stab my own hand with a steak knife that has a
You're
bat
not wrong.
attacking me.
You're
That's a
not
good
wrong.
point. That's a
Okay,
No.
I retract
Thinking
my
is out the
statement.
window.
Then he decides to crack open at the lock and get through, and the killer is already like staggered down the step. I think he falls, doesn't he? And he takes Bob
yeah, that's
with him.
yeah.
Yeah. Because he's like in pain. He is.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
like we finally get a reveal of what our killer looks like.
Yeah, okay. I will give Fulci props.
Always good.
This is a creepy, creepy looking zombie.
Yeah, how
movie.
we don't have toys of this killer or like just iconic like posters or anything like that merch.
Here's even the weird
He's
part.
awesome.
So this is 1981. This is the same year that Beastmaster came out. That thing looks like the Bat dudes from Beastmaster that had no
Oh.
mouth.
Oh,
Was
okay.
very long and slender. We'll put up a little picture thing in the group when this episode comes out. I'm just sitting there going, "Holy crap! Who ripped who off?" And I'm like, "They couldn't have. These movies came out at the same time."
Simultaneously.
Somebody's
almost.
just like,
Mhm.
let's do an elongated face that looks like leather stretched across. You can't really tell where the mouth is because that's what each of these creatures look like from Beastmaster and here. And his like, I kept looking. It looked like a uniform, but it was an old doctor's coat
Mhm.
that looked like Dr. Satan
Yeah.
from House of a Thousand Corpses outfit that this guy's wearing. And I'm like, visually, this guy's badass. And I loved every second of him when I got to see the full zombie.
Yeah, I want reaction to get on this. Maybe
Yeah,
NECA.
definitely. NECA could be
God,
on it.
NECA of this dude,
Super
I
7.
McFarlane.
I
Let's get
would be
McFarlane.
in. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would be in on that because, and this leads into where there was an interview I was watching before we recorded that some of these movies were never supposed to be zombie movies, but the producers, depending on who was backing it financially, would be like, zombies are hot right now.
Mm.
We need to put zombies in it. There was one, and it was, you don't have to correct me. I can't remember because I watched it real fast. It was like From the Grave or something like that, that they literally tacked on zombies at the end inside of a psych ward.
Oh,
That was
jeez.
never in the story. It was never in the script, but the producers go, zombies make money. Give
Right.
me zombies. And they added them. And it was even like this movie was never touted as a zombie movie, but it had zombie elements. And it's part of his like zombie anthology that he was working
Of
on.
him trying to regain his cells from his victims.
Yeah. And the dad explaining that because if the dad hadn't said that, I never would have
Yeah.
understood
that, like,
why he was
throwaway
there.
line. It was like, oh wait, that's what this movie's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
That was
needs
that was
the
just a quick,
cells.
almost a throwaway line.
Yeah.
Here's the exposition and explanation of this.
Go for it.
Yeah.
What
Basically.
he's doing down there.
And then we get more traumatized for poor little Bob as he steps on the babysitter's head.
Again,
Like that poor head just will not leave this kid alone.
Holtby's like, I don't give a crap about this kid's mental state. Step on the head. Kick the head. Hey, not only that, look at that dead body hanging behind your head. Like, and so this is another, I was so confused. They've been in this cellar how many times? Did
About a
the
dozen.
doctor just decide to redecorate and hang bodies? Or were they in another part of the cellar?
Yeah,
We
I think
never
another
saw them
part of
go
the cellar.
to?
Like that's just such an old house and such a big ass cellar that he's just got time to decorate with human filth.
Because I felt like the whole climax happened as soon as they went down the steps, which
Mhm.
we've seen in the movie. Okay, Pete, I think we skipped past one of our things we wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah. Set it
Um,
up, baby.
when Bob goes down before the killer chases him up the stairs,
Yes.
there were eyeballs in every dark crevice of the basement.
I forgot about that.
What the crap, man?
It's
These things
good.
would
I had
be
no
like,
idea, but that
All
was
those little
creepy.
details. Mm-hmm.
they looked like Halloween mask style eyes, but all you saw was eyes.
Uh-huh.
They were kind of glowing, and then they would go out, not blink, just out.
And then they
And
appear
then-
somewhere else.
Then it would appear in another
Yeah.
corner. Then it
High,
appeared under
low.
the stairs. And that's really what freaked him out to run up the steps. But I just remember because I was sitting there going, wait, when did we see the eyeballs? Oh, that was right. So much happens in the last 10, 12
10 minutes.
minutes. of this
Yeah.
movie.
That's really when
It's a-
everything.
It's, a
It's
thick 10
rapid.
minutes, boy.
This was the point where I was brought back in a little bit going, okay, I'm entertained now. I'm getting some good gore. I'm getting some pretty good tension, with the head almost getting chopped through in the doorway. then they kill it again here in a minute. And we'll get to that in a second. So they are in a different part of the basement, and apparently it's the
Sure.
doctor's
Go with that.
lair. Yeah, it's the doctor's lair.
The lights finally work in the basement, and you can see everything. Hell, I don't know.
The
Then there's
maid
the
made
extra
it. It was
basement.
Tuesday, I guess. But there's body parts everywhere. There's bodies hanging, so we get to see every person killed is now down there. The babysitter with her head missing.
Yeah, the real estate agent.
The real estate agents hanging down there. There was, I'm guessing it was the co-eds that we've now established.
Yes,
from the
yeah,
Yeah,
beginning.
that's what I
beginning of the
think
film,
at
they
the
were
very
down there.
beginning.
He's like the dude was dismembered, like autopsy style, organs removed. The creature doctor attacks the mom real quick. The dad steps in finally to save him. And then
Oh boy.
we
oh
get
boy.
the Austin Powers henchman in front of the steamroller scene, where the steamroller is moving so bloody slow, yet the guy's yelling, "No!"
Uh-huh.
The dad stands there and stares at the killer while holding a knife. Well, he stabs the killer, and maggots fall out, which is a
Oh,
Fulci.
so good.
Oh,
Fulci
so
loved
gross.
his
Ah.
maggots. Just a little bit of research I did. Everything they showed, there was like maggots in people. Like this one lady, they were throwing maggots at her face in a movie.
I'd
There's
be
like
puking.
a windstorm
I would be
of maggots.
puking nonstop.
They were clean maggots.
Oh, yes.
Maggots are
Yes,
actually
clean
cleaner
maggots,
than
that's definitely a
people.
thing.
There are medical grade maggots, guys.
Great hay.
Grade A American
Grade A
maggots. So he has a quick standoff. Literally, the dad just stands there as Dr. Freudenstien.
Mhm.
It's Frankenstein.
You're
And
right.
he
Maggot face.
runs.
Dr. Maggot face.
That's
the-
on your face.
The doctor goes towards the dad in the most slowest lumbering motion, reaches up, and then grabs the dad by the throat. The dad could have parkoured his way anywhere. He could have just walked away from the doctor.
He could have took
and
3
got
steps
away.
back.
He was in shock.
Yeah,
Sure.
He was
Let's go with
thinking.
that.
that's what he does. He stops,
He
he
was,
pauses, he thinks.
Was he doing the whole Sherlock Holmes thing from the movie
Yeah.
with Robert Downey?
Uh-huh,
He's like, if I do this and this, oh wait, too late. He's got me by
Oh,
the
He's
throat,
got my throat.
and then rips his throat out.
Oh, and it's glorious. That's
Love-
so
He
good.
does such a good Roadhouse.
He does, and it's not as fast as Swayze did it. This like peels away, expose. And look, the special effects dude does awesome. He leaves the veins, the muscle,
Mhm.
the
The
visceral,
tears from the fingers
the
going into the
esophagus
throat.
is pumping stuff out, the arteries. I loved the visual of it. So dad's dead. Now the focus is on mom and the kid. So we have another 3 minutes of the zombie walking towards them.
Yeah.
Well, stairs are hard, especially
And
when you're a
this is
zombie.
yeah, this is where I got confused. She runs up a set of stairs that I'm like, that's not the stairs that go out of the basement. No, they're stairs that go up to the tombstone in the
In the
other
living
room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why they're there, we don't know. We never see the guy come out of the basement, period. He is always down there. Like
I
when
think
they're
it was-
asleep, he's down there. He doesn't come up and go, I should kill them while they're asleep. This will be a lot easier.
Maybe the extent of his power is the basement.
It's
Maybe he
possible.
can't leave the basement.
So the mom and the kid,
I'm overthinking this.
we overthought.
I
we
thought
overthought
maybe
a lot
the
of this
stairs
movie.
were the people that built the house accidentally built stairs in the living room and then
Accident-
realized they
You
made
know,
an
I
accident,
hate-
and then they had to go and build another set of stairs, and they're like, well, let's just go ahead and put like a tombstone over
Nate,
this
you
one,
have
a
no
slab.
idea the problems we have on build sites where guys just inexplicably, I'm walking the job site doing an inspection going, where the hell did these stairs come from? Oh, Jorge accidentally built the stairs. It's like, well, you have stairs over there. Yes, but he built a second set.
Yes, but now
I
you have
don't-
2 sets of stairs. What's better
Oh.
than one set? 2.
That's
Ooh.
the frustrations of home building, guys. You've nailed it on the head right there. No.
That's why,
So-
like in a second-story house, you want to just have the toilet on the first story. Have you ever carried a toilet up a flight of stairs? Come on
It
now.
was just because the guy didn't want to carry a toilet
Yeah.
upstairs to install it. First floor toilets only.
yeah,
Oh,
So they
that
go
was in
up,
my contract.
they walk they walk and crawl up these rickety metal steps, and I'm specifically saying that for a reason. They get up to the top, and the mom's trying to like push this tombstone looking
Apparently
thing.
heavy tombstone.
It-
Yeah, with a crack in it so they can kind of see out it. And
Yeah, they
freedom is nearly there. Very tense.
You can touch it.
scene.
It's right there. And she's fighting and fighting, and the doctor creature is now walking up the rickety steps. There's a handrail, but it happens to be the hand that was cut off, so he's not holding himself. And I'm yelling at the television, kick him, kick him, kick him in the head. You'll have like an extra 5 minutes before he can get up. Kick him. No, the mom just keeps trying to push this thing, push this thing, push this thing. Nothing. He grabs her leg and then drags her down with her head hitting every metal
single
step as it
Every
goes
single
down.
one.
Oh, it's good.
And it's filmed that way. Every step, thump, thump, thump.
And it implies that kills her, right?
Yeah, because he gets her down to the
because
bottom.
that was
and
the
it's
one
a
thing I
big
was
pool of
confused on. I was
blood.
like, is she
moving after
dead?
that.
And then he lumbers back up. Now Bob is like, Mom couldn't lift this thing, but maybe I can. And he goes and tries to push and push, then tries to force his head. And this was flashbacks again to Max's movie of the kid being forced through the door. And I'm just like, come on, why do we got to do this to this kid? He's pushing and pushing. The doctor comes up, gets a hold of him, but somehow in the struggle moves the tombstone an inch to
Just
where
enough.
Bob could get his head through.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, Bob's going to get ripped in half.
That's what I thought.
Yes,
That's what I
I
thought.
was right there with you. Right
Yes!
there with you.
I was cheering.
We were
could
going to
ask
have like
Jackie.
intestines just dangling, is what I thought.
If he had ended the movie on that, I would have loved this movie. Period. Nope. What we get is that little shit gets Peter Panned out of the basement.
yeah.
Because I'm watching this and it explains it at the end, but he levitates up once he gets halfway through, and the doctor, I
Can't get
missed.
him anymore.
The
I give
doctor's
up.
done.
Well, he got
And
me.
we find out that it's May, the little ghost girl, helped lift Bob up out of there. And then Ghost Mom Frankensteinerstein is standing there going, well, you saved him. Let's go home. What?
Well, that
and
was her
she
ghost mission. All ghosts have a
leads
mission that you have to
the-
fulfill to go to not ghost home.
Right. And she takes Bob with them. Movie
Yeah.
ends.
Bob's
Bye.
a lot, or does he die? And that's how
I
he
have a
goes
theory
to ghost
about
world.
that.
I want to
Okay.
hear Pete's theory.
Because-
I think Bob did get ripped in half. And
Oh.
I think that's Bob's soul that was pulled out of the basement by these two ghosts, and then they go on to paradise because they're innocents.
That's very beautiful.
And
Whoa.
and Dr. Freudenstein gets Bob's entrails to use for
And then
himself.
he gets some entrails for himself. In my notes, I wrote, "What the hell just happened?"
That's
that
my
was
theory.
me. I like your theory.
Yeah.
I just wish we'd have saw him get ripped in half. That's all I
They may have been at the end of their budget. at that
I
point.
Yeah.
built myself up so much to that point where he got stuck, and I'm like, yes, rip his little head off or something. I don't care. Because I was to that point too. I was like, either he's going to rip him in half or he's going to yank him
Pop
down
his head right off.
and pop his head off, which is
That'd
a
have been cool
Fulci
also.
thing.
He was going to turn him into a Pez opener.
Yeah.
Ooh, ugh.
It looked like the
bloody Pez opener.
Canadians on South Park, Flappy Head. But no, I'd like your explanation though, Pete. I want that to be my headcanon now. I'm never going to watch this movie
Yeah,
again.
that's
so-
now reality for me.
Yeah. Where else is Bob going to go? I mean, no one's going to adopt his annoying little ass. All they got to do is talk to him for 5 seconds.
Yeah, they're like, no.
It's not. But
Then we get a title card for the ending,
okay, yeah.
which
This is-
reads,
Yeah, read it.
"No one will ever know whether children are monsters or monsters are children," by Henry James. And once again, I went, what the hell?
That one-
Okay. Again, I did some research.
Oh.
That comment was not by Henry James, which what they were trying to imply was No, Fulci wrote that. Fulci
And
wrote
attributed
that.
to Henry James. Huh.
No.
Oh.
Henry James never said anything close to that. Fulci just put this dude's name at the end of it.
Did he just like Henry James?
Because he needed he needed to explain something that never gets explained in the movie. Because the crying we hear in the movie was Freudenstien crying.
I didn't
There's
put
a
that together.
scene.
Nope.
There is a scene where we see him sitting on his cot bed, and you hear the crying sound, and he's moving himself. And there's times he's crying and Bob's not. Remember when he's crying and Bob's dad goes to his bedroom and he's stone asleep, and the dad moves him to put him. It was so weird. But you heard crying. That was Freudenstien crying. So Fulci is implying that the doctor is a child at heart, but is a monster on the outside. Don't ask me why, but that was the explanation of the children
touching.
crying. Why he put that title card at the end is a non-existent quote from history. He made it. And all because of that, Mr. Fulci, I know you're no longer with us, but I'm still going to play this.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I came prepared, boys. I've been up early.
Well
Yes.
done.
Now, I will say, because, you know, our whole show is about the nostalgia that we feel with movies and what it brings us back to. And, like, obviously, I've never seen this before, so I don't really have anything
this was a cold watch for me.
Yep.
Go off of. I do wonder, what would 12-year-old Nate think of this movie?
I think this movie would have terrified me, personally.
That's the thing. I think it would have
me too.
terrified me. We're also a product of a time where if you were bored on a Saturday afternoon and not outside and you were watching a movie, there was nothing else on your 6 channels, so you watched the entire thing. So even though this movie's kind of slow, it's only an hour and 26 minutes, so you would have still sat through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And as a kid, what would have been imprinted in your mind is the opening scene and the kills. And that's what would have terrified you.
Yeah,
so
I
with
would.
That said, can we borrow someone's 12-year-old and make them watch that? Just to
my nephew has a couple of years, so we can test it out on
Chloe's
him.
right at that age, but I'm not paying those therapy bills. Because I really think what you said is the nail on the head, because as a child, I would have totally forgotten about all the boring stuff.
Yeah.
This movie, I would have blocked that out, and it would have went from kill, 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 kill. That's all I would have ever remembered.
Because that would have
of this
been
movie.
like commercial break, me going to go get my high C or something, coming back to it, and just kind of like fiddling around waiting as like the boring stuff.
This would have been one of those like late night weekend double feature kind of movies that you would sometimes catch, or you'd sneak out into the living room to watch it when mom and dad's asleep. I see this movie terrifying me as a child. I see the influences that this guy and his movie styles has had on future directors and writers, and
his gore is ahead of time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like, especially when you consider some of the Friday the 13th movies that are known for being so violent. When you rewatch them, a lot of it's the camera's panning away because of, you know, the MPAA being like, nope, you got to cut this, you got to cut that.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for every single one of those to get a director's cut with the original kills fully restored intact, because that's what, you know, the Italian films didn't have to worry about, because it's like, nah, whatever. Let it happen. Let a throat get slashed 19 different times in different ways. Who cares?
Totally. No. Pete, what's some thoughts you have on this?
I enjoyed this for what it is, a giallo, and most of the giallos are kind of in the same vein, where it is like I said earlier, it's a mystery wrapped around a horror show. I liked it. It was okay.
Okay.
It was very, very painfully slow at times. I rewatched it.
Yeah.
I watched it twice. Second time I watched it, I hit the 1.5 speed on on YouTube.
Get it going.
And I still hit the forward button a few times during the beginning of this, before the snowball hits, before it really starts picking up speed. I'm glad I rewatched it because I was able to pick up on a few things, like the babysitter, her murder foretelling. I was able to listen to that tape again. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes a little
I
more
am
sense.
glad that you took the time, because I think you've given us a bit more clarity.
Yeah, a little bit of insight.
Yeah.
You both have for me, because like I said, I was completely lost. It got to a point where I was like, just give me the kills. I could definitely, always appreciate a good kill.
Well, before you guys get too far into it, let's do our raining blood.
Oh, yeah,
let's do a kill count, and then we'll do our
Final
machete
thoughts.
rating, and we can final thought this thing. So
Great. Yep.
all right, our raining blood tally is 6. But God, there are glorious 6 kills in this.
They are
movie.
fantastic.
Yeah, Pete's running through the kills in his head.
Yeah, we got the 2 kids at the beginning.
2 kids at the beginning.
Realtor.
We got
the
babysitter,
babysitter, mom and dad,
and then possibly Bob,
and then 7 question mark.
Yeah,
the kid
asterisk. He could be dead.
If in the Pete headcanon,
yes,
we're going for 7 because we think Bob died. But
yeah, so there's an asterisk besides the 6.
Yeah,
that's
so we have our asterisks here, but again, normally we count what we see,
right.
And we see 6 glorious kills in this movie.
And
does
rain
great.
blood.
None of the kills, like even though the mom's is probably the tamest, I was enjoying it because I got to watch her head hit every step going down.
It was so good.
I loved how they filmed it. It
wasn't gory, but it was so good.
No, but I was laughing. I was like, "Oh, they're doing it. There she goes." So no, and again, right on par with most of our horror movies. The quantity over quantity, as Nate has coined. We'll get some shirts that have that on.
Oh
there.
yes, we will.
But let's jump into our machete rating.
Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back. Woo!
I'll lead off here because I think I want to end with Pete, even though we usually let guests on, but I think Pete's going to have more insight on this. But I will say this though, listening to Pete has raised my rating.
Ooh.
I was originally going to hit this with a 3. I really did not like this movie last night. I was just like, oh my God. As we've talked and I've realized the level of the gore and how much I loved it, and putting a few pieces together that I was just like, this made no sense whatsoever. What were they filming? I'm going to give this 4 machetes.
Wow.
It's probably the lowest score I've given a movie.
I think it is actually.
It really
Dan was
is.
just asking, like, will you ever give anything below a 5? And I made it happen.
Nate, you did it.
Good job.
This is payback for what you did to me on my From Paris with Love episode.
Yeah, you deserved it.
No, I didn't. I didn't deserve any of what you did to me. But no,
fight.
I think Pete explaining why there was inexplicable body parts everywhere, his ability to kind of give me this idea that it was type of a mystery. Let's consider the house haunted, and obviously the headcanon of Bob dying at the end. I can almost appreciate a little bit more of what Fulci is famous for and what his goal was. I think it didn't hit the mark still, but I'll give it an extra machete. So I'm going 4 machetes on this. Nate, give us your machete rating.
All right. I'll admit I should have picked The Beyond for us.
I wish you had.
However, it is cool to give this one a spotlight because I feel like it doesn't get much attention because of where it's sandwiched at in his career and kind of in the middle of like what he was doing. Like I said, I had no idea what was happening most of this movie, which really threw me off. Even with discussing it, it's like, oh, that's cool, but like this movie really failed at holding my attention, or maybe I should just had my subtitles on like I always do. For me, it's a 4.5. I can't really see me ever revisiting this, even with the fantastic kills, which are great, and the special effects are awesome. It's just I can get this from the Beyond with a much cooler sequence style of shots, a much cooler score. All around, I really should have picked that movie. My bad, guys. My
Yeah,
bad.
man.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we now have things like YouTube where you can get compilations of every kill in this movie separately. Um, and the funny part is, someone had the idea before me and did the compilation of all of Bob's lines, which made my life a whole lot easier when I made the annoying cut. Someone
Oh,
went
that's
ahead and
great.
went, I'm going to torture as many people that I can that click this link, and it's every line Bob has. It was like 4 minutes, and I was not going to put us through that. So I cut it down to 30 seconds and
Appreciate
got
it.
my favorites. But yeah, we can go revisit any kill when we want to talk to someone about it and go, this movie sucks, but this has this excellent
You gotta
kill.
see this throat
Here it
rip
is
out.
on YouTube, and watch it. And I think that's the best way to consume this movie.
But sometimes like stuff like that makes you go, "Oh, I want to see the whole movie just because."
That's on them. I can't
Yeah.
be responsible for their poor decisions in life. Pete, give us your machete rating. You're the saving grace of this movie
You are.
for the
Yeah, but
episode.
The weird thing is, I think I'm gonna have I'm gonna have the lowest rating here. I give it a 3.5.
Oh,
Whoa!
Pete elevated mine.
I know. So the reason I give it a 3.5 is because I'm not sure I can recommend it. It's diving deep into the giallo where, boy, if you're not used to this kind of movie, such as you guys, you might not get it. You might not understand exactly how this kind of movie is told, how this kind of story is told.
For anyone that doesn't understand what giallo is, a really good modern example is *Malignant*.
Yes,
which just came out.
very, very much so.
That is pretty much the prime example of a giallo movie having way higher of a budget than it ever deserves, but James Wan was able to pull that off and pay, homage to those type of movies. So if you're wondering what Pete's talking about, maybe give that a visit. And that also has the same exact divisive reaction with the horror crowd, because they're like, some people love it, some people hate it.
That's a polarizing movie because I really enjoyed it, and some of the people I respect who give really good reviews didn't like it. I'm like, whoa, I think this was great. So
I was in the middle with it, but go ahead, Pete.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a 3.5 for me, just because it's a tough recommend. The kills are great. It is painfully slow at the not the very beginning, but
for like 35 minutes, it's very, very slow.
It's like, it's not even it's rough. I mean, we're signing papers to buy a house.
Right.
Boy, oh boy.
No. But if anything, I think it gives more credence to where you said it feels like the beginning was tacked on to hook everyone. And I am now going, I 100% agree. I think that was a total disconnect. They ended the movie and went, shit, we need to do something at the beginning because no one's going to sit through this.
Yeah. So like a 4 Machete film is something that I absolutely recommend that film. Go see it. 5 would be like, holy crap, I'm going to build a shrine to this movie.
Well, we do 10. So
yeah, you just gave this a 3.5 out.
Oh, okay. Oh boy.
I think
all right, so I give this a 5.
Okay,
right. This is a 5 Machete.
There we go.
This is a 5 Machete. I thought we were doing 5 for some reason. I'm sorry.
It's been a while since we've had Pete on the show.
Yeah,
it's okay.
yeah. I listen.
First
and
day.
I'm a dummy.
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, my first day.
He'll get it's his first day.
I totally get it now. So this is.
I was actually wondering about that when you said that. I'm like, I am shocked from where you were to where you lifted it, because we both badmouth this movie, and then Nate gave it a 4. And I gave it a 4. Yeah, this is not a great movie. This is garbage.
And I was shocked. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So okay,
he was shocked on the other end. We're going,
wow, they really like
it. So if we go up to 10, my apologies, folks.
No.
This is a 5 Machete. This is a movie that is watchable. It's not a high recommend, but there is some art behind it. The storytelling is slow, but man, that climax is so good.
Yeah, make your 12-year-old watch this for us.
At 1.5 times on YouTube, it's a watch. It's a recommend. I would not watch this at normal speed because oh boy. And YouTube's really cool about not making the film sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks. The voices are sped up, but they're not. The level isn't raised. It's however YouTube does it. Right. It's not that. It's just it's talking a little bit faster.
Bob.
So it's a 5 machete for me as I readjust my ranking.
Totally fine. I had a feeling. I was like, wow, I can't believe he went below us, but now it makes sense. No, and I think you guys are right.
Did you start off with 5 machetes? Maybe that's
Yeah, that was a
thinking.
thing.
Oh, okay, that's what I
Well,
was
it was
thinking.
for the action side. It was
Oh,
5
man,
Allianz,
I'm
and
getting
then
all,
it.
you do so many
Yeah.
damn podcasts, I can't keep them all straight.
Yep.
Yeah, and now you're on a second one, so
Yeah.
no, but I think we're pretty much bang on. And while I think I do wish Nate had picked the other one, I'm almost kind of like, well, let's get the bad one out of the way, and when we do revisit probably one he's more famous for, maybe we can be like, wow, this was so much better than House by the Cemetery. I just missed the realtor, yelling at the tombstone that got in her way.
Oh man,
damn tombstones. But no, I watch it if you want to. If you're diehard into these type of Italian movies, which I'm sure you've already seen it, then if you're that into it, you've seen this movie. If you're a casual viewer or viewer of these type of movies, skip it.
There are
YouTube.
better.
Yeah, there's way better.
There are better
examples.
examples of this kind of genre for sure.
I think so. So, anybody got any final thoughts? Anything we might have missed that was on their notes and we didn't talk about? Or bats? Oh, we have to explain that. So, if anyone watches What We Do in the Shadows when they need to escape or they're in a uncomfortable predicament, bat.
Well, one specific character, Laszlo, loves to do
Laszlo,
it.
he does it.
If
And
you're
again-
not watching What We Do in the Shadows,
You
what are
need to
doing
fix
with
your life. Yeah.
You need
And
to
again,
rethink.
Nate wanted me to do a drop, and normally I'm accommodating to him, but the audio quality wasn't great, and also it doesn't translate well into just us. I thought it was funnier if we would just yell bat. So that was the decision. I'll let Nate he's doing awesome on Instagram. I'm going to boost up my boy here. He's making some killer videos with some audio over top of, and I think this is the perfect to do the bat attack and then have Laszlo going bat in the same video cuts, then back to the
I
bat.
can make that become reality.
I think that would be gold. That will go viral. Everyone will love it.
Everyone loves
explode.
Matt Berry just yelling, bat!
Bat. Oh, so. All right, guys. I think that's all we can say about this movie. I had a blast on our very first Saturday morning Fulci and Coffee type of. I guess now every time we do Fulci, we just need to do it on Saturday mornings.
Yep,
Otherwise,
that'll
it
be
just
cool.
won't feel right. I like it. For Fulci and Coffee hour, or a little over an hour. But no, I had a blast. Nate doesn't get to pick a movie for a while.
Yeah, at least 2 movies. I'm banned. I got grounded.
You got grounded for 2 films, huh?
grounding him away, and we will have Pete back on. We don't know. Pete will just pop up. We're shooting for once a month. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we're trying
would
for
like that.
every other. We also I won't say the name. We have another fill-in host that's
Surprise.
excited to jump on with us. So we have a lot more going on this year. We'll have a few more announcements coming up. We've added to our podcast network. So we'll be making a big announcement. We may have had it announced it before you hear, or, before you've heard this. So you may already know, but in case I haven't, I'll leave it as a surprise. If you want to follow us and keep up with all that information, we are on Facebook with Give Me Back My Horror Movies. We have a group there. It's fantastic. It's growing. We also have the Give Me Back My Action Movies group. We're both on Instagram. Nate is killing it over on Instagram. We're having
Nice
a
job,
nice
man.
Well,
nice
thank
little
you guys.
rivalry between us. We tried to get over 200. Nate got it in an hour, and I found out how. And I
Did
call
you cheat?
I didn't
I
cheat.
call
I just know people.
shenanigans. You called mommy. And
I get one mother-in-law involved.
and she shared it. She's tight in the horror community, and Nate's numbers jumped, and I'm like, "What the shit, man? This is bull crap." But as we're recording, I hit 200 and made a fun post about it and put "Suck it, Nate" on the caption over top of it. So we're
Stupid
having
dork.
give me back my horror movies on Instagram. Give me back my action movies on Instagram. Pete, plug your stuff, brother.
Yeah, we're gonna episode's gonna be dropping here on the 15th. We are over at myself and my crew are over at the Good Beer Bad Movie Night podcast, where we review stinky movies and drink great beer. And sometimes those get real sloppy.
Sometimes those get reversed. I've heard some that's a bad beer, and this movie was actually good.
It doesn't happen very often, but
Not
it has
often.
happened. Yeah, for sure.
And I like that.
Yeah. It's always a surprise when you come up with a beer like, oh, I didn't like that at all.
Especially if it's a beer you haven't left in your fridge for like 8 months or something. Like,
did you finally listen to that one?
I heard that one. I've gone through
Yeah.
some backlogs of years.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Anyway, we drop episodes on the 15th of every month. Upcoming this month is Maximum Overdrive. So
I can't wait to hear
Lovely.
that. And honestly, by the time this comes out, it'll already be out.
Holy
So
moly, we had a blast on that one. We had so much energy because we were back in the same room together after a couple of months. So it was
that's
great.
fantastic. I
Nice.
can't wait. And it should be out by the time this one comes out. So everybody go over to Good
You
Beer
know it's a
Bad
good
Movie
podcast
Night.
when you edit it and you're giggling yourself. Like, I remember saying that. I remember them saying you're just laughing because it's genuinely funny.
Oh, when I go back and edit, I know it's a good episode if I'm laughing at the same things
Yeah.
again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm looking forward to editing this one because this movie is terrible, but I feel like this is a great episode that we have.
Maybe.
I mean, I got to talk about axes, stuff like that. But no, we've had a good time here. So you can email us over at gmbmampod@gmail.com. We're only just a hair more insane than Pete's email address. I know where I stand, man. Don't worry about it. Shout out to our other network podcasters, Monster Movie Stomp Down, Sludge and the guys over there. They are bringing the heat now, guys. He has new ideas popping in that brain, and we will workshop it, and he implements it immediately. I can't wait for everyone to see what we're working on right now. He's added a trivia section to his show, and I am the one that comes up with the multiple choice trivia questions, and I love dropping some monster trivia, and then I'll mess with them and throw like a RoboCop one in there once in a while. I know Mark loves me for that. But no,
Throw some
everything
Titanic in there.
Yeah, definitely.
absolutely. We have more interviews coming very soon, so keep your ears open for that. Go ahead and follow us on Spotify, Podbean, Apple. Subscribe to us, rate us 5 stars across the board. They won't let you do anything less.
Weird glitch.
That way, it's a weird glitch. But that way, as soon as we drop an episode, you've got it. It's ready to go, and you're not going to miss anything because our interview episodes, I'm just dropping at a random weekend, depending on when we're done recording. There's no set schedule because we have to accommodate everyone's time. So I was like, we're shooting for one a month. That's our goal. And so far we're doing pretty good with that. And the next ones we have lined up are going to be fun. Big shout out to Poster Smash, the guys over at Witch House, Mountain Empire Comics in Johnson City and Bristol, Diane and Rob over there. Getting close time for convention season, comic book toys.
I can't wait.
We've got some appearances we're going to be doing at a few, so look for us when we announce what we're doing on those. A lot of cool stuff coming from the podcast. New shows, like I said, we've added some. We've got some launching, so just stay tuned, follow us, see everything on our socials, and just enjoy the conversation with us. So, guys, anything else? Have I covered it all?
Great.
I'm
Thanks
out
a
of
bunch,
thoughts.
guys. I had
Pete,
so much
loved
fun.
having you. I'm so glad
Can't
you're
wait to
now
have you back.
We are
back
doing
on
this
the
again.
horror
Cannot
thing.
wait.
Absolutely. So, Nate, you want to get us out of here with the good word?
Join us next week as we have a special guest, Bob the Creepy Kid.
That's a no, but
That's a no. You're fired, Nate.
Nate's
I'm
still
gonna reach
fired.
out.
Nate's still grounded. All
Damn
right.
it.
We'll see you guys next time.
Hail to the king, baby.
And if you stuck through this long, here's your present.
And